I'm a licensed pharmacist in 3 states. Which one of these medications is best for sleeping from the Dollar Tree? I walked into the Dollar Tree to take a look at some of the sleeping medications, and I was overwhelmed. And I literally do this for a living. This is so confusing, and quite frankly, I didn't realize how much of a burden this was to the average person until I started making these videos. I mean, look here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different sleeping medications that I just got today at Dollar Tree. So, first one I wanted to look at was this one. It says Nighttime Sleep Aid, and it's by Value Health by Spirit. This is compared to Simply Sleep. I've never heard of that. Have you guys? I've never heard of Simply Sleep before. But anyway, it says Nighttime Sleep Aid here, and it's diphenhydramine 25 milligrams sleep aid. 36 caplets. Obviously, this was $1.25. Its expiration date was still good, so that's always good to see. And you can see here on the ingredients, it's diphenhydramine 25 milligram, and its purpose is a nighttime sleep aid. And the directions here for anyone, and the directions here are for people 12 and over. You can take 2 caplets at bedtime. Now, if you're a observant consumer, you've probably seen the word diphenhydramine before, and that's because this is an allergy medication. I also picked this up. It's the same thing. It's literally the same thing. Diphenhydramine 25 milligram. It's by the same company and everything. Same quantity. It's just a different packaging that says allergy relief. This is just Benadryl. Now, why would a company do this? I guess to make it easier for you folks, because it would kind of be weird to put on a package allergy/sleep aid. The directions would have to be different or the directions would have to be the same on the box, so that could be very confusing. The labeling for all over-the-counter meds is regulated by the FDA, so they would have to probably put both of these labels on one box, and that could be very challenging. Now, if you look here, this is the allergy relief. The directions are different. For children 12 and over, it takes 1 to 2 tablets every 4 to 6 hours. Okay, so those directions are different. That's why there's 2 different products. The same chemical can be used for 2 different purposes. Now, a lot of people have been mentioning to me about how diphenhydramine is being associated with dementia, and there is some concern with that. Diphenhydramine itself actually has not been studied, but similar medications have been, and they have shown a slight increase in the incidence of dementia in people who take this similar medications for an extended period of time. I believe it was 3 months or greater or something like that. Perhaps it was 3 years, don't quote me. And perhaps I wasn't very clear earlier. Whenever I say I like diphenhydramine, I mean that I like it every once in a while. I don't think this is something anybody would want to take daily, because you would have to take it multiple times a day anyway. It just wouldn't be practical. Now, that's all well and good, but what about this? Maximum strength nighttime sleep aid. It's the same thing, except it's 50 milligrams instead of 25 milligrams, and this is a soft gel, and there's 8 of them. So whenever you do the math for the price per milligram, this is a better deal. You get 36 caplets. They're 25 milligram each. This one here, they are 50 milligram each, but you only get 8 of them. As you can see on the back of this box, the directions are different. Diphenhydramine 50 milligram, and it says here for children 12 and older, 1 soft gel at bedtime if needed. Now, the advantage, even knowing that this has more, there's actually another advantage. First of all, you can control your dose better, taking 1 tablet to 2 tablets, whereas with a soft gel, you can't split that, and I'll show that later in another video. So with this one, you can take anywhere from 12.5 milligram all the way up to 50 milligram, because you can split this in half. With this one, you are a slave to the 50 milligram dose. There's no way getting around it. And to make things even more confusing, there's the Easy Night Sleep Aid. This is also diphenhydramine. It says 50 milligram per 30 ml. It is berry flavored, and I do want to make a note of this. It does have 10% alcohol, and yes, it is the same alcohol that you're thinking of. It's ethyl alcohol or ethanol, and it's found in vodka, beer, it's all the same stuff. That is pretty relevant, but not really. So you might be looking at this and be like, ooh, 20 proof, let's get it. Perhaps there is some effect of that alcohol being in there. I'm not really sure, honestly. I know that is not a considerable amount of alcohol whenever you're only taking 30 ml. Now, this is just ZzzQuil. That's all that is. This is the generic ZzzQuil. But they also have this children's allergy relief, which is the same thing. Look, it's diphenhydramine. This one, the concentration is different, 12.5 milligram per 5 ml. Okay, so you would have to take 20 ml of this to equal 30 ml of this. And if you're an adult, you can take this. There's no reason why you wouldn't be able to take this. This does not contain any alcohol. Okay, this is made for children, so there is no alcohol. Now, I know from experience that a little bit of alcohol is actually acceptable for children. Now, I know that for over-the-counter meds, the alcohol content is regulated, and I believe for anyone 12 and older, 10% is the maximum amount of alcohol. For anyone, I think it's between 6 and 12, the maximum percentage allowable is 5%, and then under 6 years old, it's no alcohol. But for prescription drugs, there is no limit. And I just know from experience that there are some children's medications that contain alcohol, but it's such a slight amount that it just doesn't matter. If you're an adult, you can take this. It doesn't have alcohol. Perhaps you won't get that little tiny bit of extra help sleeping, but the active ingredient is the exact same thing. It's just a different concentration, and in this case, a different flavor. Another one I saw was melatonin. Now, I have taken this myself, and it does work. 30 tablets. Now, if you read the back here, it's melatonin 3 milligram. Now, in my professional opinion, you will have to take 2 of these tablets, because in my professional opinion, you need at least 5 milligram of melatonin per night, and you have to be consistent with it. It takes about 1 to 2 weeks to actually see a difference. People will argue with me with that. I don't care. I feel very confident in my opinion on that. A lot of people talk about microdosing melatonin, and I mean, if it works for you, great, but I just know from experience and from what I've seen in pharmacy school and in practice, you need at least 5 milligram for a pretty long period of time. Now, here's something else I saw that was very intriguing. I don't even know what this is. Pillow spray lavender with melatonin and essential oils. Use on pillow and bedtime for sleep time blissfulness. I'm trying to look at the ingredients here. Okay, the ingredients are water, melatonin. It doesn't tell you how much. Lavandula. I don't know how to say most of these things. I don't know what this is. I'm going to try it, but I mean, that's there too. I don't think this is going to work. So then the question becomes, what is the best? Right here, melatonin. For those of you folks who want to try diphenhydramine, I would probably recommend this one because you just get more of it. And you can use them both together. And the reason why I don't really like diphenhydramine is because its side effect is it'll make you sleepy, but it doesn't seem to really create a good long-lasting sleep. This is more of a, keeps you asleep. This is more of a puts you to sleep. But it just doesn't seem to last very long. Additionally, it is important to note that diphenhydramine, one of its side effects is the sleepiness, and that's called an anticholinergic side effect. And it stands to reason that it could, unfortunately cause or be associated with the development of dementia, because our medications that we use to treat dementia do the exact opposite. They are cholinergic in their action. So that's where we get a lot of this concern. It just so happens that diphenhydramine, as far as I know, actually has not been studied directly, but logic would tell you that it probably is associated with dementia development. But as a short-term, one-off situation, I take it and I'm perfectly fine with that. But it probably is not best to be taken day after day after day. If your allergies are that bad, you'd probably use something like cetirizine. As always, if you enjoyed this, stick around. I love hearing from you guys. I look at all your messages. I can't reply to all of them, but I'm a licensed pharmacist in 3 states, and today we're going to be trying the Dollar Tree medications. Here we go one more time. This is actually one of my all-time favorite products here, and I'm excited to look at this one. This is one of my favorites because it's a standard that anyone should have in their over-the-counter arsenal. It actually doesn't say this on the package, or at least not on the front, and I don't know why. This is clotrimazole. It's an antifungal medication. Well, I guess it does say it, but it doesn't say the percentage for some reason. But of course, if you look at the back, it's clotrimazole 1%, which is very standard. I think that's the only percentage it comes in. This company, Natureplex, is very well known at Dollar Tree. They're out of Olive Branch, Mississippi, and it says made in the USA here, so we're a big fan of this company. I see them they make pretty much all the creams here, I feel like. For 1.25 ounces at $1.25, I mean, this has to be one of the best deals around. Clotrimazole is great. I love it for any sort of fungal infection. But keyword there is fungal. This is an antifungal. It's not antibacterial. And I doubt anyone would make this mistake, but it's also not antiviral. It's only antifungal. A lot of people get this confused, and it has disastrous consequences. If you give an antibiotic for a viral infection, it's not going to treat the virus, obviously. And one of the worst things that can happen is that the body and the bacteria can become used to these medications, and then it won't be as more effective, and this spreads out through an entire community. So it's really, really important to use these things judiciously. Not so much important, I don't think, with like fungal infections. In fact, 9 times out of 10, if you think you have a skin infection, it's probably fungal anyway, so you're probably okay to use this. But like a lot of times doctors, they mess this up, and it's a really big issue, because the more you use an antibiotic, the less effective it becomes for everybody else, not just you. Okay, that's the end of my antimicrobial stewardess rant. Let's go home and try this. Okay, here we have the Athlete's Foot clotrimazole cream. And as far as I know, this comes also in a lozenge that you can use in your mouth. It's for whenever you have thrush, if anyone knows what thrush is. It's just an oral infection of yeast. And it does come in a vaginal formulation as well. But this is the topical formulation. And it's too difficult to open, apparently, for me. My goodness. Why am I so bad at opening things? Okay, let's look at this. Now, again, this is the 1%, which is pretty much the only way it comes as far as a topical formulation is concerned. I don't believe it comes in any other way. And you can see the package instructions here. Now, I recall this being difficult to open, this tamper-resistant seal from this company. This one came off much easier. Okay, so this is, a pretty standard tube here. What do we got? 1.25 ounces. Let's see what it feels like. Oh my gosh. Well, I take back what I said about the seal being easy to take off. There's a plastic layer under here. Well, I have it as best I can. Okay. So I actually do have a reason to use this. I do suspect that there is a little bit of a fungal infection on a part of my body, but I'll put that on later. I just want to feel what this feels like now. Yeah, it feels like any normal cream. Nothing to be concerned of there. I highly recommend this product. So it's something that I've used in my life as well, and I can tell you and promise you that it works if you are dealing with a true yeast infection. One thing I do want to point out is that even though it says athlete's foot on here, you can use it for any part of your skin, really. Of course, just, looking out for putting in your eyes and any orifice, obviously. But it is very effective. It does take a while. It takes a couple days. You can't give up on something like this, unfortunately. And you have to apply it like 4 times a day. And it might take 2 weeks, it says here on the directions. So it does work. It just takes time. As always, if you enjoyed this pharmacy ASMR content, stick around. I'm a licensed pharmacist in 3 states, and today we're going to be trying Dollar Tree medications. I am so excited for what we have today. Okay, I don't think I'll be trying this one. Hemorrhoidal cream. I'm interested to see what this actually is. I'm not entirely sure. It says here, rapid soothing pain relief from painful burning, itching discomfort, shrinks swollen hemorrhoidal tissue, protects irritated tissue, and relieves external discomfort. Fast relief! Okay, so far there's some things I really like about this. One, it comes with the cap. We do like to see that. 0.9 ounces. Don't really know if that's a good deal or not. It's by Natureplex, the folks down in Mississippi, and it says maximum strength here. So let's see about that. The active ingredients are here. Glycerin, which is actually not really an active ingredient. I don't know why they list it like that sometimes. Petrolatum, also not really an active ingredient. Also don't know why they list it there sometimes. Phenylephrine is active, and that is the vasoconstrictor, and that actually works. Pramoxine also works as like a little bit of a pain reliever. This whole combination as a cream, I really, really like. I'm not a fan of combination products as pills, but as creams, like something like this where all of the ingredients are very logical, I'm a big fan. I think this is a really good product. The only issue is you have to use this 4 times a day, so what was it, less than an ounce? I'm not a fan of the quantity. For $1.25, I think you can actually get a much better deal at Walmart or something like that. But let's go home and at least open the package. Excited to take a look at this one. I don't think I'll be using this, but we can just pretend. All right, so it's 0.9 ounces, and this is hemorrhoidal cream. Oh, and I forgot to mention earlier, it does have aloe, and that is good. I like to see that. I'm a big fan of aloe. And I did want to mention something about an NDC while I open this. Ooh, an NDC is a national drug code, and it's basically like the social security number of a medication. Oh my gosh. So whenever they put that on the box, it's like saying, this is us, this is what we're all about, we have nothing to hide. They don't have to put the NDC on there, but I like to see it because it is a sign of professionalism. Otherwise, it just kind of looks like, they're kind of being avoidant and not really, just showing that this is a medication that's registered with the FDA. All of them do have an NDC code, but you don't have to display it. I like it whenever companies do display it. So here we have the packaging. It's very similar to the box. And I wanted to take a moment to look at this. You got this nice little tip, and we'll put this together here. Okay, so after you take off the safety seal, you can screw on the tip and remove the cap. And, you just kind of have at it there. Ooh. Ooh. But you can see how this will function inside of the body, so that's exactly what you want. I'm a big fan of that combination. I think the chemicals in there are really good and really helpful. I'd give that, I'd recommend it, but you may want something a little bit bigger of a tube. I don't really know how long that would last, so it kind of depends on your goals of therapy, but like most things at the Dollar Tree, if you're in a pinch, I'd say that's a good purchase. As always, if you enjoy this content, stick around. I'm a licensed pharmacist in 3 states, and today we're going to be trying some of the Dollar Tree medications. Oh man, I'm excited to see what we got. Okay, let's take a look at this. Vitamin A and D cream. Interesting. Moisturizes and helps soothe dry, flaky skin. And what kind of quantity? 1.5 ounces, not bad. Vitamin A and D cream technically is not a medication. That's why the back of the package looks different. It looks almost more like a food label than like a medication label with the little square with the ingredients listed out. And ingredients are listed from most to least. So the first one we got there is purified water, stearic acid. I can't read all of these, but down at the end there you see vitamin A and vitamin D. Vitamin D is cholecalciferol, and vitamin A is retinol palmitate. I really don't have a whole lot to say about this because it's just a cream. It's just a soothing cream. The fact that it has vitamin A and vitamin D in it is pretty relevant. Like, ain't nobody with a vitamin D deficiency putting on vitamin A and D cream to boost their vitamin D levels. Like, that's ridiculous. The only thing this does is, I mean, the simple fact that it's a cream, it creates a soothing, kind of sensation. I'm not saying I don't like this product. In fact, I do. We use it all the time, especially with folks who are bedbound or something like that. But there's really no vitamin supplementation going on here. Vitamin A and D cream is a really good cream to just help kind of moisturize, soothe dry, flaky skin. It's 1.5 ounces, which is a decent size, but it's really not that exciting. I mean, it's just a cream that you put on your body and it feels good. So let's take a look and see what's on the inside. And you got the standard tube, 1.5 ounces. Yeah, nothing too exciting about this one, unfortunately. Here's the ingredients if you care to look at them. Let's see how this comes out of the tube. Very nice. Oh, got a little overfill there. All right, let's see how this feels on the body. So my knuckles, being a working man, do get kind of dry and scaly kind of, so I want to try this one here. Wow, that is a soothing feeling. I enjoy how that feels. Yeah, you can feel the moisturizing effect almost immediately. Wow, I think I might keep using this. Wow, it feels really good. So that actually felt really, really good on my knuckles. I'm going to keep using it, I think, and see what happens over the next couple days. The only thing I don't like about it, and this is going to be true for any cream, is that like after you put it on, you can't hardly like use your hands. Everything becomes very slippery. But other than that, I mean, you can't really fault the company for that. There's no way around that. It felt really good. I want to keep using it, so I recommend that. I'm a licensed pharmacist in 3 states, and today we're going to be trying Dollar Tree medications. Okay, I wonder what creams we can find today. Okay, I am so excited about this one. Hydrocortisone cream. Hydrocortisone cream is a standard for any first aid kit or any home. Hydrocortisone is actually a steroid, which per definition is not what you think it means. A steroid by definition is a cholesterol-based molecule, so it really doesn't have anything to do with building muscle. An anabolic steroid is what that is. So this type of steroid is an anti-inflammatory. So when we apply this one, it helps with eczema, psoriasis, seborrheic dermatitis, soaps. I reviewed this before and everyone told me a lot of people have reaction to soaps. I didn't know that. And it's good for insect bites, poison ivy, oak sumac, and more. I wonder what the "and more" means. I just imagine somebody has like some very serious medical condition and they use hydrocortisone cream because it says "and more" on it. This is from our boys at Natureplex. They're out of Mississippi, Olive Branch, Mississippi. For 1.5 ounces, I think this is a really, really great deal. And the expiration date is fine. Last day of, was that April 2027? And it does have an NDC code. We love that this company does that. It is 1%, which is the maximum strength you can buy over the counter. And what do the directions say here? I don't even know. It says apply 3 to 4 times a day. So what this is best for, in my opinion, is for like an itching or a rash. You know, that's probably the main thing I would use this for. It does come in higher strengths, by the way. I do see it as a 2.5%. I think you need a prescription for that. And I think it may come in at 0.5%, I'm not really sure. But you want 1%. 1% is the most cost effective. Also, for some of my physicians and prescribers watching, a lot of times you guys like to prescribe the hydrocortisone suppositories. They are crazy expensive. They're like hundreds of dollars, and virtually no insurance ever covers them. So you can and should use hydrocortisone rectally for hemorrhoids. That is a thing. Hydrocortisone is one of the most common meds, I think, that I've ever seen. 1.5 ounce. This is 1%. It doesn't say on here, but it does say maximum strength. If you flip it around to the other side, it does say hydrocortisone 1%. So this is a very, very common med, and virtually everybody has this in their first aid kit. Wow, very professional looking packaging. It has the NDC code here as well. Let's see what's on the inside. Uh-oh. Man, these are kind of tough to take off, I've noticed. It has this like plastic portion that's very difficult. Gosh, like exploded on me. Okay, let's see how this looks coming out. I mean, I wouldn't know this from anything else. I mean, it's a cream, you know. I really don't have a reason to put this on my body right now, but I just wanted to feel it. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty oily. In fact, this is so oily, I'd be half tempted to call this an ointment rather than a cream. The hydrocortisone cream is a standard for any over-the-counter medication box. I highly recommend that for only $1.25, and I believe it was 1.5 ounces or something like that. That's plenty. You know, you don't use a whole lot of that one. So I think that is a very, very good purchase. Licensed pharmacist in 3 states, and today we're going to be trying some of the Dollar Tree medications. Oh yeah, we got a nice one today for you. Alright, triple antibiotic ointment. I'm a fan of this. This triple antibiotic ointment is probably one of my favorite products here. It has the NDC code at the top. It's the original ointment. Don't know what that means. Original is in what, but whatever. And it's a 1/2 ounce, which is okay. You don't need a whole lot of this. I've reviewed this before, and apparently a lot of people are allergic to it. I had no clue. So if you're prone to having allergic reactions, I mean, use this with caution. I had no idea it was that prevalent. So triple antibiotic ointment is always going to be the same 3 combination of meds, and it's always going to be in those same ratios. Bacitracin zinc 400 units, neomycin sulfate 3.5 milligram, and polymyxin B sulfate 5,000 units. Don't worry about the difference between a milligram and a unit. Nobody knows the difference. I'm not kidding. If anybody is here who actually knows without Googling it, I would be very, very impressed. I don't think anybody actually knows. It's just the way it is. And it says here 3 times a day. Never really looked at that myself, honestly. Bit of an odd way to put the expiration date, but it is still good. One thing I don't understand here, it says minimizes the appearance of scars. I don't know how that could be true. I don't think you should ever be using triple antibiotic in hoping that it would reduce your scar. I think once you have a scar, like it's there, like you can't do anything about that. Maybe in the healing process. I don't even think in the healing process it's going to really help that much. Well, I don't know. We'll see. But triple antibiotic ointment is exactly what it sounds like. It's an antibiotic ointment. So you would use it on like a scrape or a cut or something like that. And it really does work. Like I've definitely used it before. I haven't used the Dollar Tree version, but I will here later today. For those of you who don't know, they do make a double antibiotic ointment. It's not here at Dollar Tree, but it is a thing. Triple antibiotic ointment is a very standard ointment for anybody who wants to be prepared. So this is an antibiotic ointment, and it has, like I mentioned earlier, 3 meds, and it's always the same 3. It's always in the same ratio. That is, by definition, triple antibiotic ointment. A lot of people told me that they're allergic to this, and I had no idea it was that common. Okay, so obviously if you're allergic to this, you don't want to be using this. I know that I am not allergic to it, so I will be trying it out today. It's only a ½ ounce. I think this is adorable. My goodness. Look how tiny this little tube is. It's like a little baby tube. Now, generally, you don't really use a whole lot of this, so I'm not too perturbed that it's a ½ ounce. But, there are better deals available. Like, if you go to Walmart, you're probably going to get, like, several ounces. Oh my gosh. If you go to Walmart, you're probably going to get several ounces for, like, $1.30 or something, you know? So this is probably not the best deal as far as, like, price per quantity. But, like, a lot of these things at the Dollar Tree, if you're in a pinch, this is a great deal. And I would have no qualm using this at all. I got this very oily substance on my finger. Oh my gosh, it's almost like a liquid. Like, it's like, have you ever touched coconut oil? It, like, almost kind of melts instantly. That's what this feels like. Wow. Wow, this is like a liquid. Like a thin liquid is what I mean by that. For $1.25, you only get a ½ ounce, but I think that's okay. You don't really need a whole lot of that, so I would recommend that. But again, if it's something that you think you would use often, like maybe, I don't know, I just imagine somebody being like a camp counselor for a bunch of kids, you would want to go to Walmart and get a much bigger tube for slightly higher of a price. I'm a licensed pharmacist in 3 states, and today we'll be trying Dollar Tree medications. Oh, here we go again. Arthritis and sport penetrating heat rub, Epsom salt plus alcohol. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. For rubbing and soaking, arthritis, aching muscles, sprains, aching stiff joints, tired, aching feet. And this is 8 floral ounces. And this is made by LDN Research Lab. It says here, Division of LDN Investment Group, Olympia Fields, Illinois. Made in USA, it says. Alright, I'm really excited about this, but it's not for the reason you think I am. It says, caution, flammable, keep away from fire, flame, or open spark. We'll see about that. What do you guys think? Is it actually flammable, or do they just have to put that on the label? I don't think it's actually flammable. We'll see, though. I was trying to use my chemistry knowledge to figure out if it was flammable or not, but it actually doesn't tell you the percentage or the concentration of each. I wanted to see, like, what percentage of this was alcohol. And it's isopropyl alcohol. Anyway, I don't think isopropyl alcohol is really that flammable. Or maybe it is, I don't know. But anyway, here's the ingredients. I'm way more interested to figure out if this is flammable, honestly. Arthritis and sport. Okay, so this is just an Epsom salt mixture. I'm not gonna really do much with this. I only care about the part where it says it's flammable. I don't think this is gonna be flammable, and I want to find out. So we are going to test this. But first, let's open the bottle. Okay, that has a very strong alcohol smell. Okay, maybe this is flammable. We'll see. Okay, I got my lab coat and my gargoyles on here. We're about to try to see if we can light this on fire. Okay, let's light this. Liars, I knew it. Unfortunately, I can't recommend that product. Any product that has labeling that lies to consumers is not a good product. And the package clearly states that it's flammable, but as we saw right there, it's not flammable. In fact, it did the opposite of flaming. It extinguished my flaming piece of paper.